From the Daily Mail, Trump blasts Twitter for suspending account of Pennsylvania ally. Here's again an example of the fake news narrative where they can't just tell you that they suspended a Pennsylvania, what was it, senator? Did he just say Republican allies? I thought, okay. Like, what does that mean? I do believe this guy is a prominent senator, actually. So the fake news narrative that you don't see because you don't analyze RSS feeds like I do is that it's clickbait. It's designed to put out X free articles to get Y subscriptions for Z profit. It's not designed as a public service for you. The media is not some benevolent corporation that is here to help you. They already wrote the article about the Pennsylvania ally. This is a duplicate where they're putting in buzzwords. They put in Trump because Trump is the current source of most of their income. Don't know about most, actually. I'm going to retract that. A large percentage of their income is coming from Donald Trump because he is the king of memes. The guy from The Apprentice who owns Trump Tower, who said, grab her by the pussy and build the wall, lock her up, and Mexico's not sending us their finest people. And so they're just trying to piggyback on Trump's popularity to get you to, and all of these articles are written for a target audience. That's something you don't understand. Let's read on the article. It says, President Donald Trump, the king of memes, continued his rant against Twitter, criticizing the social media company for suspending the account of his Republican allies in Pennsylvania. Really frustrating, man. Like, because they can't just tell you they suspended a prominent senator. Hold on, I want to look at see what this guy was. I'm going to read this before I make that comment. He blasted this. Hold on. This is, quote, this is what communist countries do, end quote. Trump tweeted Friday morning. Twitter suspended the account of Pennsylvania State Senator Doug Mastriano, who led Wednesday's hearing-style event on presidential vote in that state. Rudy Giuliani, America's mayor, attended, and Trump called into a hearing. The king of memes posted and shared 12 tweets on Thanksgiving holiday. What does that have to do with it? 12 tweets about this? 14 tweets about this? I don't know. Not very clear. The king of memes then blasted Twitter, accusing it of manipulating its trending topic section. I 100% agree. I think that they are doing this to, one, throw blue meat to the base. Two, to make their platform seem like it's anti-Trump because most people on Twitter are Democrats. And most Democrats are anti-Trump. And they're doing it to control elections because they have a political agenda. And in order to maximize their amount of money, they need their political candidate in. Their political candidate cannot be against them. Donald Trump wants to take away Twitter's Section 230 platform protections, which they are abusing. They're not allowed to censor you. They're only allowed to categorize information. They're not allowed to hide it from everyone because it's an information categorization service. The reason why they got Section 230 platform protections on Twitter is so that the internet could grow, so that it could, our copyright laws and our yeah, it is our copyright laws, but our tort laws and our copyright laws wouldn't affect the growth of the internet. So they gave them limited protections for information categorization services, so they weren't like a newspaper. So in a newspaper, you can write a letter to the editor, and that is functionally identical to writing a comment or making a post on social media. If that newspaper publishes that comment, and that comment is defamatory, libel, or slander, or some other tort law, such as copyright violation, that newspaper is held accountable for that speech, even though it was not them doing the speaking, and it was because they edited the speech, and it does not matter whether or not it was somebody else who wrote it. They edited it, then they published it, and they are a publisher, and that's why you can sue a newspaper for libel and slander and copyright violations. But the social media companies have been getting a pass on this. Twitter has been acting as a news agency, as a news publisher, when they do their fact corrections and labeling misleading content, and they target their political enemies. They don't target Democrats. They let whatever their nonsense is go. They only target conservatives, and it's because they look at the conservatives, and it's because the conservatives have more engaging content. People engage with their content more, but they don't like on the content as much. Conservatives are much more conservative with what they like. They'll watch it and they'll engage with it, but then they won't like it or dislike it, and it's because they're being conservative. So Twitter has been manipulating our elections, along with Facebook. They've been tracking people all around the internet, and they've been using this data in order to maximize their profits. And by maximizing their profits, they have to control the politics. They want to be able to control which politicians get the mic, and they want to be able to take it away from you whenever they want to. This allows them to maintain control so that they could have a monopoly on the market. This is antithetical to Section 230. It is. Section 230 is for one reason and one reason alone, to provide for innovation on the internet, to allow users to speak their mind freely without the corporations censoring everything that they say, like newspapers. Because if they did that, they would have killed the growth of the internet. I'm not sure if that's true. I think we just wouldn't have had social media. I think the world might have been a much better place. Social media is a horrible place. It's a very depressing, lonely place. The algorithms are there to maximize the amount of time that you spend on social media. They will actually spend some crazy number of millions of dollars. I can't quote you the exact amount, just to tweak the viewership by 0.1 to 1%. 1% would be insane if they could get that. But they will spend a lot of money to maximize the amount of time that you spend on there by 0.1%. That to them is a lot of money. That's an extra ad when you're on there. It doesn't sound like very much on the surface, but it ends up turning out to be a lot of money to them. They do this through a variety of deceitful, unethical, psychological manipulation using artificial intelligence algorithms that are designed to isolate you, to to make you feel emotions, happiness, sad, anger, fear, loneliness, in order to isolate you from your peer groups so that your peer group is on social media, so that you will engage in social media more, so that you are watching more ads. When you do this, you are not using competing technologies. This makes Twitter and Facebook not eligible for Section 230 platform protections because part of it is of the platform protections are that you're supposed to be removing content that is considered an obscenity. Obscenities are pornography, abuse of animals, excessively violent content, stuff that just nobody wants to see. Nobody wants to see some dude torturing a bunch of animals or child pornography or pictures of ugly naked people. People just don't want to see that. The Supreme Court, I can't remember the name of the case, but there was this case that was involving a family-friendly website, and that website wanted to censor some of the content, and then somebody posted something that triggered a tort lawsuit from someone. I can't remember if it was copyright, libel, slander, or what. And then the Supreme Court ruled that that family-friendly website did not receive Section 230 platform protections because they were censoring some of the they were moderating some of the content, but not all of it. And once you moderate some of it, then you're like a newspaper. It's as if you in the newspaper just allowed people to post whatever ad they wanted and whatever letter to the editor that they wanted, and then people started posting slander, tort, copyrighted material. The newspaper published it. They had an editor look at it. After the editor looked at it and you published it, now you're liable for the tort offense. That's what Section 230 is all about. So when they do this, what they're doing is they are censoring instead of classifying. So you can classify an account as a fake account, a malicious account, and then that account would not be a person, would not receive any sort of protections because it's unauthorized use of a computer. It can actually be a crime if you're posting fake accounts. Because if you're impersonating people. So what they're doing here in this specific situation is they're targeting allies of Donald Trump because they want to completely discredit Donald Trump. Let's read further in here. President repeated his claims that Twitter is biased against conservatives. They are. They are. Like, for instance, here in my Twitter, let's log out of here and then into RSS commentary. So here, what I got suspended from Twitter today, and it says remove tweet. And then my tweet was, we're talking about Kamala the Snitch Harris, and it says she's not black. She's half Indian, half Jamaican slave trader. Definitely not black. She's a hoe. She slept her way up to the top of the Democratic Party by cheating with Willie Brown, the married Democrat kingmaker. She's a hussy, a homewrecker, a hoe. So let's go back to that analogy of the family-friendly website that went to the Supreme Court, where the Supreme Court said, no, you don't get Section 230 platform protections because you censored this content, but then you didn't moderate everything. Like, you have to moderate absolutely everything, and then you have to ensure that it's not a tort offense in order to, it's like you have to censor everything or nothing. Or sorry, moderate everything or nothing in order to get section platform. Hold on. You wouldn't get, if you're moderating everything, then you're a publisher. You don't get Section 230 platform protections. Just like a newspaper. There's no difference in between a newspaper publishing stuff and a family-friendly website where other people are posting stuff up on there, just like a letter to the editor or putting an ad in the newspaper. So this would be the same thing as the family-friendly. So they're saying, oh, this isn't family-friendly. It's hateful conduct, which is what? Not family friendly. That's what that says. They want you to, it's not advertiser friendly. And an advertiser cannot put an advertisement up next to your post because it triggered some emotions in some spineless coward, some asshole jerk liberal, and you can't do that. You're not allowed to do that because they're just trying to maximize the amount of money that they're making on ads. So, are they an information categorization service or are they an advertising agency? It seems to me as if they're an advertising agency. It seems to me as if their primary motivation is to put ads in. Their primary motivation is not to categorize information. No, they're here very specifically to make money. In order to do that, you need to get advertising revenue, and then they have a strict guidelines as to who they can give advertising revenue to. And they have a blacklist, too. There's like some blacklist with these people. I'm probably on it already. I've never even interacted with these people ever in my entire life, but these people are like the people up at the top of the ivory tower working up in these big skyscrapers in the big Democrat-run shithole cities. Those punk motherfuckers, the ones that are the dirt bags, the ones that make all kinds of money hand over fist, and they're the rich elite people. Yeah, those ones. Those are the ones who are controlling your speech. So Trump also lashed out at the fake news media, which is the fake news industrial complex, or FNIC, for its coverage of news conference. Twitter users mocked the president for using hashtag #DiaperDawn on Thursday. The hashtag became a trending topic in response to Trump's small desk. Trump also demanded a repeal of Section 230, which shields internet companies from liability for content posted by users. Okay, so what would happen if we got rid of Section 230? All of these social media things would go away. Would that be a good thing or a bad thing? That would be a good thing. So you got to think, these companies are supposed to be like a telephone carrier. Like, it's supposed to be that we're talking to each other via the internet, and these people are like a telephone company. So imagine if you're talking on the phone, and I said, yo, Kamala the Snitch Harris is a hoe. She's a hussy. She's a home wrecker. And she slept her way up to the top of the California Democratic Party with Willie Brown, the Democrat kingmaker, the former mayor of San Francisco. And then all of a sudden Twitter gets on. They're like, oh, that's against our policies. And then they hung up the phone on you. And then they cancel your account. Yo, that's way, way overboard. Way overboard. It's one thing if I'm on your property. If I'm on your property and I'm doing that. But they're trying to say we own all this. They're trying to say we get Section 230 platform protections and we own the copyright on your comments. Anytime you make a post, anytime you post a picture, a video, anything, they got a copyright on it. But then they're not liable for any sort of tort offenses for the copyright that they own. That's BS. They are. If they want to do this, they absolutely need to be held accountable for the damages that they're causing. Not only are they causing psychological damages to people through the AI manipulation, they're causing monetary damages to people through their manipulation using unethical artificial intelligence algorithms that are there to maximize the amount of time that you spend on social media. So that's why we have to take away their Section 230 platform protections, because they're not an information categorization service. They're an advertising agency. They're a publisher of news. They publish news. They publish content. Then they say they have these advanced artificial intelligence algorithms that can detect when you commit a thought crime before you even commit it. And then they want to get Section 230 platform protections. Like, no, absolutely not. These people running these tech companies are trash. Silicon Valley, the whole thing's trash, dude. I say we nuke it and then salt the ground, dude. U.S. government should do it, right? Because they're a threat to our safety. In the end, the red states are going to have to secede from the Union. We're going to have to make our own country because the whole purpose of the Electoral College was to because the majority of people live in big cities, and that would make it so that the big cities would control the electoral process all the time. So why on earth would any of these rural states want to be a part of a country where they don't have any say in the federal government? It's always going to be LA, New York, San Francisco, Seattle, all running the show all the time. Oh, don't forget Chicago too. Detroit. And they're all Democrat. Like, no, we're out. We're not going to put up with your BS. We're going to secede from the Union. We're going to take the nukes that are on our property, and then we're going to nuke Silicon Valley and salt the earth. That way, nobody else will ever have to put up with Silicon Valley ever again. That would be the best thing that we could possibly do for this country, because these people in Silicon Valley are detestable scum. Absolutely detestable. These people absolutely do not deserve to be in control of Silicon Valley at all. They are so far left. These people got homeless, 20 homeless people, or 20 illegal immigrants for every homeless person. You got homeless people all over the streets banging cartel dope, taking shits on the sidewalk. You just be walking down the sidewalk, step on a pile of shit with a hypodermic needle on it, get cholera, hep C, hep A, typhoid fever, black plague, bubonic plague, cholera, TB and COVID, because there's some bum coughing while he's banging cartel dope on the side of the ivory tower. That's what it is down there. And then these people flood into my state in Oregon. They just push their transients up in here. And then you got people, these like punk rocker dudes, like homeless downtown with pit bulls, and they sick their pit bulls. And they'll sick their dog on people. They'll have their dog maul people. They'll be banging heroin downtown, pushing all kinds of weird, sketchy drugs, causing people to die that they got from the Mexican cartel. These people suck. California is one gigantic scam. They spent most of the money decades ago, dude. They're running on debt. And because they spent so much money and they gave so much money out to these corrupt public sector employee unions, the people at the top are the tech people, all the people running the companies, and then you got the public employee sector unions. Those are the people making the good money because they got those good pensions. And then they gave them too much money because it was a scam, and the people in the public sector employee unions run that state. They got all the PTA parents. They got their phones, and they pull out the whatever their public sector employee union wants them to vote, and they just vote straight ticket, blue no matter who. And now their economy is so screwed up, they have to jack the taxes up so much that it just jacks up the rent, jacks up the prices, and then their people flood up here and they jack up our rent. They cash out on their house down there. They got like millions of dollars, and they move up here and they buy up property, and then they jack up the price of rent. I'm tired of these people. I really am tired of these California dirtbags pushing their bullshit far leftist policies. And then eventually they're like, oh, white man's bad. White man's bad. This economy, this whole thing's poison, so we got to get rid of capitalism, replace it with communism. These people are a fundamental threat to our democracy. We're going to have to secede from the union, and we're going to have to give L.A. and all of those counties around there to Mexico and say, look, it's your problem now, bro. You made the problem. You deal with it. Fuck that city. Fuck L.A., dude. Those people suck. The mayor of L.A. sucks. I hate that guy. I really do. All those people down there. And they all act like goody-goodies. Not all those people, sorry. And it's the goody-goodies at fault. And it's because you got a bunch of woke, anti-racist white people trying to get the Latinos to vote for them. So they basically take money from the white feminists, give it to the Latinos to get the blacks to vote for them. That's what they do. Their whole everything like that is a scam down there. If you like this video, don't forget to smash that like button. If you hated it, smash that dislike button. Tell me how stupid I am in the comments down below. Don't forget to share this video on social media if you would like to see this channel grow to get more content, because you know the algorithm is not working in my favor. My mouth is way too big. I cannot avoid the profanities and the burning, scathing insults because I am just so good at that.